You're listening to Four Things to Know, a WCCO daily news podcast.
Today is Tuesday, July 7th. I'm Johnny Kahner. Thank you for watching and listening to Four Things to Know today. Let's get to our top story. It's a tragic one. A bicyclist was doored and later died. That's a term used by cyclists when a parked car door opens suddenly, causing a collision. This happened back on June 27th in the afternoon. 69-year-old Ricky Larson was riding his bike on Highland Parkway. St. Paul police say a woman in a parked car opened her door to get out, and Larson was struck with that car door. He suffered a head injury and was transported to Regents Hospital. Then on July 3rd, he was taken off of life support and died. Police said the driver of the car stayed on the scene after the accident and was cooperative. We will keep you updated on this tragic story. Your second thing to know, changes are coming to the Twin Cities Marathon weekend. Nothing is changing about this fall's marathon, but next year, Marathon weekend will be 2 weeks later. That's because of hot weather we've been dealing with the past few years. Now, if you remember back in 2023, organizers actually canceled the marathon the morning of the race because of extreme heat in the forecast for that day. So now next year, the marathon will be held between October 10th and the 17th. It's usually held, though, on the first Sunday in October, but organizers say, quote, a multi-year review showed that mid-October offers a more stable and safer weather profile. This date change will ensure the safety of our participants, the quality of our race weekend, and the positive impact Marathon Weekend has on our community. This year's Twin Cities Marathon will be held on October 4th. Thousands of people will run 26.2 miles from Minneapolis to St. Paul. Number 3, one Twin Cities sheriff says gang violence in Minnesota's Somali community is a big problem. Ramsey County Sheriff Bob Fletcher says there have been more than 100 gang-related Somali shootings over the past couple of years. Esme Murphy is digging into the story.
I'm on my way to interview Sheriff Bob Fletcher of Ramsey County, and he has a Facebook show that he puts on usually on Fridays called Life on Patrol. And this past week, he focused on the problem of Somali youth gangs. And he had several people in his office talking about the need for people to come together to work with Somali families, specifically to work with Somali moms, because this gang problem is getting out of hand, and a lot of these kids are obviously listening to the wrong people. So it's sort of a talk about what can be done, what should be done about Somali gangs. We're going to go more in depth with Sheriff Fletcher when I go over to his office and talk about it. We'll have stories on this coming up.
Esme's story will air tonight on WCCO TV, and as always, if you can't watch the news live, we always get our reporter stories up on WCCO.com. Number 4, an update on Minnesota's paid leave program. You might remember that it was touted as one of the most transformational bills ever passed in our state. Jason Rantala has more on how the state says things are going.
Paid leave policy, which began this year, allows almost all residents to take leave and receive partial pay, say if they have a newborn or managing a medical condition or caring for a loved one. 6 months into the program, the state is calling it a success. About 75,000 people have been approved to take paid leave. The state says the average weekly benefit payment is $1,083, and over half of recipients make less than $78,000 a year. It's paid for with a just under 1% payroll tax paid by employers and employees. DEED Commissioner Matt Berlick said this morning they've proven skeptics wrong.
We had predictions that we would be behind schedule in launching. We had predictions that we would be over budget in launching. We had predictions that the technology would not work properly, et cetera. And I'm happy to note that on those 3 measures, we came in under budget with implementation. We launched early, and the technology has operated smoothly.
And speaking of under budget, the state says the program has been $70 million under that budget. Those savings go directly to benefit payments. People are encouraged to apply early and make sure they have the correct documents to help ensure things go as smoothly as possible.
Those are your 4 things to know today. Let's get a check-in now with our next weather meteorologist.
Hi, next weather meteorologist Lisa Meadows. Get ready for a warm night down to just 73 tonight with showers and storms rolling through. The potential for a little bit of flooding as well as we head into tomorrow. Rain lingers tomorrow, but cooler with a high only in the low 80s.
And now, here's more to know.
Sticking with the weather for a second, today people in several communities are cleaning up the damage from overnight storms. Strong storms hit some Minnesota communities really hard last night. Thunder, heavy rain, and whipping wind hit Hackensack. And in the Detroit Lakes area, reports of a tornado. The Becker County Sheriff's Office confirmed 2 non-life-threatening injuries. The Sheriff's Office wants the public to stay away from the Floyd Lake area while crews conduct damage assessments and restore services. There was also an emergency shelter set up at M State College on Highway 34 for any residents displaced by the storm. Today is a national day of action to, quote, protect our vote. Pastors, imams, rabbis, and religious leaders came together in front of the state capitol this morning. Clergy from around the country are also holding similar press conferences today to say that they will be working with local, state, and federal elected officials and business leaders to make sure that every eligible voter has access to the ballot during the upcoming midterm elections. Here's more from Reverend Janae Bates Amari, the co-executive director of Isaiah, Minnesota.
Today is the day, now is the time. We are going to step up and lean into our moral authority to ensure that we will not allow any kind of federal intimidation or overreach to try to break any of our constitutional rights to have a say in our vote and in our voice.
The midterm elections are just 4 months away. Now to a first in the Oval Office. President Trump opened the stock market by doing this.
So ring the bell, Mr. President.
Trump rang the opening bell to mark the first day of trading for Trump accounts. The new investment and savings vehicle is another way parents can contribute to their children's future. The account also gives parents of eligible babies born between 2025 and 2028 $1,000 to invest. If you have a child born before 2025 and is still under 10, that child may qualify for a $250 deposit. Back here in Minnesota, preparations are being made right now for Broadway's blockbuster Wicked to come back to our state. The show opens tomorrow night at the Orpheum Theater in Minneapolis. It runs through August 9th. Tickets are still available. You can get them at hennepinarts.org. That'd be a fun show to see in downtown. Let's talk sports now. A tough loss for the U.S. men's team last night, 4-1 to Belgium. And right outside WCCO on PV Plaza, thousands were here and thousands were watching the game at Britt's Pub and the Plaza for watch parties last night and the last couple of weeks. They all look like fun, but for diehards like Thomas Raymond, the loss was taken tough.
But I mean, you gotta hope.
You're taking this pretty hard.
I mean, I live and die for this team. I mean, it's the United States men's national team. It's the one team in this country that everyone comes together for.
And the great thing about the World Cup and the Olympics and things of that nature, they're every 4 years, so you look forward to them so much, and then it ends in crushing defeat. You can't just turn the page quickly. You got to wait till 2030, but a good run for the USA. It was fun to see them advance to the knockout round. Hopefully we just keep getting better. That's all you can do. Let's move to baseball. The Twins beat the New York Yankees in a series in the Bronx for the first time in 12 years. That is pretty crazy. It's been since 2014, and now tonight they're back home for a 3-game set against Cleveland. 6:40 first pitch tonight at Target Field. Hopefully they can keep winning ball games.
It's time to take a breath with your Daily Bright Spot.
It's summertime, of course. That means State Fair. Yeah, State Fair season is on the minds of not just people in Minnesota, but Americans actually across the country. We're now just 51 days away from the Great Minnesota Get-Together, and while you wait for that to start, here's a way to tell the country what we already know, of course. Minnesota, we have the best state fair in America. USA Today opened their voting for its Reader's Choice Awards for the best state fair in the country. Of course, we made the list of 20 nominees, just like Wisconsin, Florida, Iowa, and Texas. You know, the big boys, to name a few. But right now, we are at the top of the voting. We'll take that. We're followed by Wisconsin, Texas, and Alaska. Now, voting wraps up July 27th, and the winner will be announced on August 5th. We have actually won the competition both times USA Today has put out a vote. That was back in 2025 and 2015. I actually voted today. You can as well. Let's get the top spot again, because especially we know we have the best donuts in the country. The Amish donuts are literally insane. I know I've talked about those a couple times, but yeah, that should get our state fair recognition just by themselves. We literally waited in line, I think, an hour last year. So worth the wait. I honestly can't wait to do it again. Have a beer, wait in line, get the donuts. That's what the state fair is all about. Well, I'm Johnny Kahner. This has been 4 Things to Know. We're here with the news you need every weekday afternoon by 3 o'clock. Thanks for listening today, for watching us on YouTube. We will be back tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday night, everybody.
Love podcasts? Love Minnesota?
Check out the WCCO podcast studio lineup.
Hear the top stories of the day with 4 Things to Know.
Discover top female athletes and teams from around the state on women in sports.
Dive into stories about faith and belief, from your local leaders to your neighbors next door, with bigger than belief.
Stay in the know on the go with the WCCO podcast studio. Go to WCCO.com/podcasts.